What's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back to the channel, you guys. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. I hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. You guys already know what we're here for. We are here for Greenleaf. This is season 3, episode 7, a title I am too tired to pronounce right now. But of course, it'll be in the description bar. I am, as you can see, getting ready for bed. I'm going to take this little half a teaspoon of makeup off, baby, and I'm about to lay it down. But before I do, let's talk about the Great Escape. Y'all, that Zora, I ain't worried about Zora no more. I done gave Zora over to the Lord. I really have. I have turned all my worries over about Zora to the Lord. I don't want nothing bad to happen to Zora, but some people got to learn the hard way. Now, you know, when we last saw Zora, she had stormed out on Granny May and was headed towards the gate. Now she headed walking, May driving alongside of her. They say, I am not walking this entire property line after you, little lady. They get to the gate. Oh, Zora tell the security guard open the gate. He go to open the gate. May tell him don't you dare. Zora tell him to open the gate. He try to go open the gate. Now see that right there get you fired. What did I say? You don't open that damn gate till I say. Okay. And she trying to talk Zora out of it. You know, telling her what's right. You don't understand what you're doing. This boy beats you. Come back inside. Let's talk about it. You know, I mean, may have been tough on her, but that ain't why she leaving. She leaving because they won't let her do whatever it is she want to do. So I'm not blaming this on May. I don't think it's right to blame it on May. I really, really don't. See, Zora is bound, bent, and determined that she is going to do what she wants to do. Okay? She feels like she's doing what is right for her. Okay, it's very little you're going to be able to do to talk Zora out of this. All right? I already see it. She's being disrespectful. She's being rude, ugly acting. At the same time, they at the gate arguing. Here come Carissa and Jacob to pick the child up, take her back home. Because they're on the other side of the gate, the security guard has to open the gate to let them in. Of course, they get out the car. The gate is still open. They talking with May, trying to, talk Zora out of it and have a word and argue with May and Jacob. And in the interim, Zora goes around them and runs along at the gate because Isaiah is pulling up. Now, Isaiah done got out of the car. He got his phone and he playing live. Come on, go ahead, do it. Talking to Jacob. When Jacob see him, Jacob approached him real brisk and swiftly. He did look like he was gonna yoke him up, but yeah, you know that was gonna happen if you come on their property line. You probably gonna get yoked up. You better be glad they ain't letting Granny May loose on you, because Granny May would have scratched your eyes out. So Carissa pleads with Jacob to calm down, and the parents, we don't want them to press charges. Well, if he 18 years old, they can't press charges on his behalf. He has to press the charges. I would have kicked his behind. Well, first of all, the gate wouldn't have been open. Zora would have had to jump that gate. I don't care who was on the other side of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the only thing you can do is to block her from leaving. But again, she 18 years old. All she got to do is get somebody to call the police and they come escort her out of there. So I guess that's the more point too. Anyway, Carissa pleads with Zora, and in the interim, Charity pulls up. Now she pulls up. She got on 6-inch heels and a skin tight dress, and she sees Isaiah, and she is like, "Oh, is that little boy?" She runs up. I was like, if you don't get somewhere and sit down, Deborah Joe, or you break your ankle, all of them people, Isaiah left unscathed with Zora. Carissa gives Zora her phone so she can have some means of communication. Just call me, I won't call you. Isaiah takes the phone and throws it out the other side of the car, backs up and speeds off. Okay, Carissa is beside herself. Jacob is hurt and disappointed. May, they just all standing there while she speed off. It's a mess. It is a mess. So when they go back in the house, Carissa is calling Isaiah's mama and daddy. They say he's not there. He's been living there for the last 3 weeks, but he left. Yeah, he left to come get Zora. So May is telling her, well, I don't know why you stopped Jacob, and that's my son, and he has every right to defend his daughter and all of that. And she tell May to be quiet. She not gonna lose Zora like May lost Faith. And I could see that May was hurt. She said, "Why would you say something like that? Why would?" And it was a terribly cruel thing to say. Certainly out loud, it was a terribly cruel thing to say. But the irony is you've already lost Zora, like May lost Faith. Faith was being abused. It was in a different way, but Zora is being abused. Faith was using drugs. Zora has been smoking and puffing and drinking, having sex. You've lost your daughter to a certain extent. You certainly have lost that little baby you keep trying to bring back. And I understand that's the mother's love, and she's gonna always see her as her little girl. But yeah, you got to really think about this thing. Like once they 18, they can do whatever they want to do, and all you can do really is be there to help them pick up the pieces, to take care of the babies they you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't funny, but that's a shame. There's a lot of kids out here who go out and do whatever they want to do. And then they bring all them mistakes, all that, and I'm not saying the children are mistakes, but if you wasn't planning on having a baby, then you know what I mean. They bring the children back home. They bring bad debt, their wounds, they broken scars. Some of them bring the men back home with them. Some of them come back home and set your house on fire, take the little bit of money you got. So you don't really have no room to be throwing shade at May. May was in the wrong, but you was in the wrong too. You was in the wrong too. Okay, you really were. When you gave Zora that phone and you told her when she got in that truck and you told her that she is ruining everything you work for, that was a problem. All I'm saying is you got to be able to see the writing on the wall sometimes. When you had to haul off and slap Zora in her face a couple of seasons ago, or last season, when you had to haul off and slap Zora in her face, you knew then there was a problem with Zora. And every time Jacob tried to put down the strong hand with Zora, you wanted to bag him off of her because you felt guilty about that. And the girl has played you guys against each other. She's taking advantage of the fact that you working and Jacob down at the church. Anyway, so Carissa decides she gonna take Jacob's phone and she gonna go over to the parents' house, to Isaiah's parents' house, and she gonna sit outside and wait on talk to them and wait on to see if Isaiah come back with Zora. And she wants to take Jacob's phone because, of course, Isaiah done threw hers out the window. Well, when all the scuttlebutt was going on down at the gate, he got a text from Jezza Skanks. And Jezza Skanks then was like, "Hey, how's it going?" He had to delete it. Okay. So he cannot let Carissa leave with that phone. Well, she throws that phone up against his chest and say, "Fine, take your damn phone." And she don't want to take Jacob with her because he go off half cocked, and they already had a hard time talking to people out of pressing charges and all this, that, and the other. Well, May agrees to take her. And when they get over there, they take a moment to sit down and reflect. And Carissa has had a moment to calm down. And she just wants to sit there for a minute and wait and see if they come back. And May just goes ahead and lets her know that was uncalled for what she said. And she also tells her, you can work as hard as you want to. Okay, you can dig down deep. And Carissa like, not my child, not my baby. I was like, oh, okay. All right, Carissa, where your baby at? Oh, okay. All right. So anyway, Jacob, he can't go with Carissa, so he goes back to the church. He goes into Rochelle's office. No sooner he entering the office, she texting him. Hey, you weren't answering my text. I was getting worried. I didn't know what was going on. I was just thinking maybe you thought something was wrong or whatever could be wrong, girl. You married and he married and y'all trying to low key hook up. Like, girl, no. Yeah, that's what's wrong. He was like, look, I don't know if you got a misunderstanding. I think when your tongue entered her mouth, she probably got all confused and everything. Mm-hmm. That's probably when she got confused and turned around in the situation. Okay, when you was grinding against her on your desk and tongue kissing her. Okay, Jacob. So I don't know where you got confused at. But this can't happen. This was a mistake, and we shouldn't do this. And you work for me, and I'm married, and Zora's gone. I need to be. Oh, really? Did you want to talk about Zora? Did you want to bring Zora up? Did you want to have any type of contemplation about Zora at all? Well, she's like, what do you mean? What are you saying? I don't understand. Really, girl? Really? 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 Did you really think y'all was gonna skip off into the sunset? Huh? Feeding each other Ike and mice and jelly beans, huh? With the sun in the background. Okay, and unicorns making sweet, sweet love on the grassy knoll. Did you really, really think that was gonna happen, Jizzle Skanks? Absolutely not. It was never gonna happen. It was never meant to be. So, she wants him to close the door. He was like, no, no, no. No more closed doors around here. Well, when she got cranked up good with the crying, he went to close the door. He closed the door and he was like, girl, you got to pull it together. In other words, somebody gonna find us out. If you keep on with these nervous breakdowns and all this what nots and not what's, we gonna be found out. Okay? At the same time, here come Bishop busting in the door. But we gonna talk about Bishop. When Bishop kept indicating, did I interrupt something? Did I interrupt something? Jacob stand there in the church and lie and tell him no, all that crying that Jezebel Skanks is doing is because she lost a friend. Bishop goes back to the office with Jacob, but Jacob just tells him Bishop wants Jacob to make a phone call to a friend of his that was in the city council. This was back when Jacob was at his doing his scuzzy deeds, and he tells him, call him, just call him and see if he can put an AP in. And Jacob was like, she 18, sir. She 18. It's nothing we can do. There's absolutely nothing we can do. Plus, there's nothing no one wants us to do. Your wife don't want to bring you in on it. She don't want you helping, and my wife don't want me helping either. And so he just told him, he said, I don't need your pressure too, Dad. And Bishop gonna say something slick about his temper. It's a good thing you didn't go because you got a bad temper. I was like, if you don't get your high hip, low hip out of here, Bishop, you have absolutely no help whatsoever. And let's see what else. Later on, we see that Carissa does catch up with Zora in the driveway. Isaiah goes in the house and Zora stays in the car. And when she walks up to the window, she has to plead with Zora to let that window down. When Zora finally let the window down, she was like, hurry up, I don't want him to come back and you are here. I was like, now you know your place, Carissa. I mean, I don't know where you fall in the lineup, boo, but I know it's definitely behind Isaiah. Okay, in terms of prioritizing. Okay, so she tells Zora this touching story about when she was born, how she didn't cry and flail about like other babies. She just looked at her longingly and she saw so much potential and hope and bright future in her eyes and expectations from her as a mom and all of this. And she told her she was sorry that she didn't, that she put all of her expectations onto Zora. And Zora was like, are you done? Are you finished? And even while she was talking, she was like, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. So she told Zora, she said, listen, you're doing it now. You're making this decision where it ain't gonna be nobody but you and God. And I promise God is gonna win. Okay, he a lot stronger than me. And Zora started crying, but she knocked her mama hand off and let that window up. And Carissa was so heartbroken. She was so heartbroken. She goes back home and she looking through the baby book when Jacob finally comes in for the evening. And he tries to console her, and she is so heartbroken about her baby being gone. My baby's gone. That's all I can think about. She don't even want him to touch her. Jacob feel bad. He feels bad. He feels bad. But I think it's a part of Jacob that's okay with Zora letting Zora go. All right. So that's Carissa, Zora, and Jacob. Let's talk about Bishop and May real quick. When all this was going on, Bishop gonna call to the house because Charity had left and went down to the funeral home. Now she down at the funeral home, and she walking in like it was some drama at the house, and he's there because he's spending the night with Percy. Well, he staying with Percy now, and Bishop was like, "What's going on?" She was like, "Nothing, Daddy. I'm on the move." He said, "I'm still your father. Tell me what's going on." So she tells him. And this is when he gets the grand scheme that Jacob can help because he knows somebody down in the mayor's office. So, or the police department or something. So, he called May before, after that, and May May told him there's nothing you could do. We working on it. Everybody's working on it. It was a big mess, but there's nothing you can do, and try not to at least make things worse. Basically, is what she was saying. Well, after Bishop goes over there to see Jacob, he comes back over to the house and finds that the gate code has been changed. When he does finally get in the house after the guard done called up to Lady May, she in there playing with a giant cup of cognac, glass of cognac. She playing the last three notes of a song that she don't really know. And except for those three notes. And he walks in and starts telling her about the gate code being changed, and y'all not including me, and you need to talk with the kids and have the kids recognize me as their father. I don't appreciate being dismissed, and it's the way the things you. And she's just going back and forth, and you can just see they're both tired. Bishop is befuddled and confused. Any minute now, he's probably going to have an episode. I mean, he's getting hit with the 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 from everybody. Charity, Jacob, and now he back at it with Lady May. And y'all know Lady May is not an easy tangle at all. She tells him if all of this could have been avoided if you just would have had the patience to let me grieve and get over what you did in my own time. So you admitting that what you doing all of this out of spite is what you're saying. Was it about being hurt? Was it about not being able to follow your dream? Or is this out of spite because he tried to one up you, now you're going to make him eat it? I'm just trying to understand, So she sends him packing again and tells him if he need a friend, if he needs somebody to rely on, he need to call on Jesus. Because as far as she's concerned, she's the one that's keeping all the balls in the air. She is the one that's working the hardest, that's showing herself to be a leader. Okay? This is how she's telling him. All right. So let's see. Let's talk about Charity, and then we're gonna talk about Grace. Charity, like I said, she pulls up. She want to do the 1, 2 with the dude. It's all exercise and futility. She runs up on him only to be sat down by her family, and she leaves and goes back to the funeral home. And they've got several events there, and we see her comforting a woman. The woman is crying and she beside herself. And Charity gives her, that generic comfort that people like. You're going to make it through this. You're going to be okay. I know it seems like a lot now, but this too shall pass. And Percy watching from the top of the steps, I was like, hold on. Am I the only one last week when Percy called Charity thought he was calling her to be inappropriate? Even with him watching her from the steps, I don't know if it's who he played as a former character. In former characters, he always played the bad guy, but so did Bishop. Bishop done played the bad guy a lot too, but it's something about the way he called Charity and something about the way he was watching her from the steps. Well, he tells her later after he insists on paying her and she tried to act like she turning it down. I'm like, Charity, you need a job. You got a baby, you got a child. If you want independence, you're gonna need to work and earn your own money now. Well, he want her to take over the funeral home one day when he gone. I was like, baby steps, sir. Can you teach her the business first? he want her to work there because she got a gift for it. And she was like, no, I'm not over, getting over what I've been doing. I'm not strong enough yet. I can't do this every day. He said, think about it. You're stronger than what you think you are. Okay. And she leaves like, I'm not getting into this. I'm thinking to myself, Charity gonna be right back over there at that if at that funeral home. If she ain't careful, she gonna be over there on at Percy's plantation house. Good Lord, that house looked like it was straight out of the 1918. You know what I'm saying? Like Savannah, Georgia. Like them pictures on the wall, that front porch. I was like, ooh, this ain't color purple. My. Mr. Daddy's house. That's what it looked like. Okay, so that's Charity. Grace. Now, all this scuttlebutt going on at home. Sophia at home. We hear Zora make a reference to Sophia when she's arguing with Lady May, and Lady May was like, you leaving your cousin, and you need to be standing to support her. And I hear Zora say, well, I tried to go and tell her goodbye, and she wouldn't even talk to me. Cause you were the devil's little bitch for her. Could that be Zora? So Sophia's back at home. All this scuttlebutt is going on with Zora at the front gate. And where's Grace? Grace down at the jailhouse trying to get Coralie out. Okay, and all this hell is breaking loose at your own house. Ain't nobody called Grace. Ain't nobody brought Grace into the loop. Nothing. Nada. Zip zero. That's your niece who hung out with your daughter. Okay, and you down here trying to get this woman out. Now she didn't bail the woman out. They leave it in a bevy in a crowd of photographers and paparazzi and all of this stuff. And Rochelle is there. They getting in a Uber X and they take the woman home. Now ain't no paparazzi at the woman's house. They all at the jailhouse. Anyway. And Rochelle walked the woman to the door, and she was like, the hardest thing about this Coralie, is that I don't have my children. If I could just see my children. So Rochelle pipes up and says she knows somebody down at CPS, and she'll give them a call. And so when Coralie go on in the house, Coralie's like, would you do that? Would you? I'll be ever so grateful. And Rochelle was like, yeah. So when Coralie goes on in the house, Grace said, who you know down at CPS? And Rochelle was like, I got friends. So when they get back to the church, Rochelle and Grace, the DA is sitting in her office, and he want to low key threaten her. I'd have been like, where your charges at? Where your charges at? Huh? It's been almost a year. Where your charges at? Okay, you got evidence, you got proof. Get the fuck. I would have had him get all of the F out of my office with these threats. You need to get her to take the appeal. What kind of bull crap is that? See, I thought something was suspect with this lady, and it might still be suspect, but that has nothing to do with the fact that you there trying to threaten somebody by proxy to get them to talk somebody else into giving up all of their rights away. She has the right to due process, whether she got a vagina or a ding-a-ling between her legs, sir. I'd have threw his tight lip Martin Luther Ebenezer Baptist Church looking out of my office. And don't come back around here no more, no more, no more, no more. You know, some of these men you got some nerve, sir. You got some nerve. You don't get all of the hell. Anyway, Grace do it. She done left Rochelle outside while she talked to the man. When Rochelle come inside and asked what that was about, she said absolutely nothing. Later on, Grace down at the jailhouse with or at the courthouse somewhere with this bootleg white ghost. He looked like an albino cobra. I didn't know what the features on that lawyer looked downright amphibian. So he trying to get her, just take the deal, just take the deal. I'm pretty sure that is against the American Bar Association for you trying to force her to take a deal that's against her best interest, not giving her time to think. I'm pretty sure that's not in your code of ethics, sir. So they sent his nasty tail packing, and Grace giving him what for. And the lady said, Coralie said she gonna think about it. Well, meantime, Rochelle done came through and brought the lady's children down there. Now the lady done hooked up with the kids, and she tell after she visits with her kids, she tell Grace and Rochelle that she decided she gonna fight. She is gonna fight. She ain't not gonna just leave her kids 20 years, 15 before you get parole. Okay, all right. So when Grace sitting down with Rochelle, she asked Rochelle, "Who do you know down in CB?" Rochelle was like, "Well, you ain't gonna let that go, are you?" She was like, "It's a simple question that has a simple answer. If you would answer it." So Rochelle was like, "I'm not the girl that you think I am. I worked with Big Brother and somebody I know from Big Brother's Big Sister. You worked with them too, girl." This is what Grace said, and she said, "I was one." I was like, Don't let that little nose fool you, Grace. Do not let that little nose fool you. This lady is up to something. Um, so later on, we see after everything has happened, Grace is exhausted. She goes back home and she crashes. Well, Sophia comes out of her room to talk to Grace. She's chilling in the dog, huh? So she sit down and she decides she gonna tell Grace. This is after Roberto has sent her a lovely gift, a book of all their pictures of how much he loved her and missed her when they went to visit Rhodes College, where they both decided they wanted to go. She tell her mama she don't want to go to Rose, and she was like, "But why?" And she said, "Well, you can't force me to go. I'll be 18 soon, and Zora can do whatever she want to do." Really, is that what it is? I don't understand. Don't be jumping all over the place. Let's talk about you and your college education. So she finally just tells her mom she don't want to go to a religious college. She not up for that right now. Listen, both of these girls got to forge their own path. Both of these girls got to make their own way. All you can do, you better off than Zora, and Grace is better off than Zora and Carissa because at least your daughter is present. Every day you have an opportunity to deposit, to say something, to be an example. But you can't do that chasing these pipe dreams with Coralie. You need to get Coralie a good lawyer and let them look that lawyer handle Coralie. Okay, and it is what it is, however it turned out. That's what your legal defense fund is. Not walking this lady back and forth from the courthouse and counseling her and talking to her lawyer on her behalf and all of that. No, ma'am, no, ma'am. When you got all hell breaking loose at your house, that don't nobody even bother to call you, and you ain't called them. Have you talked to Sophia? Do you know this Zora is gone? Like, what the hell? What y'all think about Greenleaf, y'all? What y'all think about Zora? What y'all think about Jacob and Jezza's gangs and how he handled that situation? What y'all think about Carissa being so broken and sad? And y'all think Charity ought to run in funeral circles? I don't know, Charity. You got a high propensity for depression. You easily influenced. You be done left out of that funeral home more sad and downtrodden than you were when you went in there. But I wish you well, sis. At least you'll be working and doing your own thing, making your own money. And that's half the battle if you ask me. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Put it down below. Until next time, honeybees. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I holla.